Okay, so let me give you a little update to the show. I don't know how they can wear those full open-face helmets. I'd be cold. One of the things that you will take away from the show, if you listen to it, is that the atheists that called in the show, except for one atheist that we call the honest atheist because he actually answered the question. I'm going to tell you what he said when we asked if he could provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. There was one honest atheist that actually answered the question, and I'm going to tell you what he said. In a nutshell, he admitted on live radio, quote, "I cannot provide evidence and proof that atheism is correct." You said he can't prove it. So he said what we all know, that atheism is a belief. It is a religious belief, a religious humanist belief, all based on faith and no evidence. You will be surprised how much atheism utilizes faith, F-A-I-T-H. So he admitted, he said, look, I can't provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. Yet, I and the other folks on the radio show did provide evidence, which if you play back the show, not one of the atheists refuted it. They did not refute the evidence of Jesus Christ, Christianity, the Gospels, the prophecies. None of them did. Now, they said all kinds of other stuff, but they could not destroy the rock-hard, solid foundation of Jesus Christ. So here's some of the highlights, okay? I'm going to tell you some of my best, my favorite parts. One part, and actually totally unscripted and unrehearsed, we have Derek on the line, my buddy D-Man for Christ.com. At the end of this, I'll put their website. And then we have Evan Nephilim Free on YouTube. And also my buddy. And one part of the show, I started giving out the qualifications on how you, yes you, could be the recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. And D-Man chimes in, and he starts saying things about how you can be the recipient. Like, for example, you know, I believe Evan's all, if you disrespect the Bible, you could be the winner of the Nobel Peace Prize. And then Evan's like, if you mock biblical stories of Abraham and Isaac, wow, this guy's going to go ticket, look at this, he's going to ticket that guy in the carpool lane. So I will get you this on footage. He is going to be busted, just like the atheists were busted. Yes, the atheists got busted on live radio yesterday, just like this cop is flipping the lights on, turning this guy over here to the right shoulder, turning his lights on and his sirens. The atheists, my friends, were busted just like this guy right here. Yes, look, this is exactly like the radio show. Busted, yes. If you would like to hear a show where the atheists got busted for lack of proof and evidence, go to shockonow.net, ladies and gentlemen. www.shock, S-H-O-C-K, A-W-E, now, N-O-W.net, shockonow.net. Now, I asked the atheists provide proof and evidence, and let me tell you how they got busted. Thank you, God, for sending that cop car there. This is going to be a great addition to the video. Excuse me. What happened? They would not answer the question. They were like Bill Clinton or Obama or these politicians. Like when you say, well, if we have a government-run healthcare, our taxes going to go up, and Obama says, now look, I understand that everyone's worried about their taxes going up, and we need to make healthcare affordable. And notice how he's not answering the question. Bill Clinton, did you have sexual relations with that one? I want you to listen to me. I'm only going to say this one time. I never told anybody to lie. No, we didn't ask you that. Did you have sexual relations with that woman? Okay, I did. Now listen, none of the atheists answer the question. It was sad. It was sad. The good thing is you can download that show, and I have that show. No one's going to take it away from my Bible reading hands. And I'm going to cherish that show, and I'm going to make duplicate copies, yes, of the show. Just like one seed falls to the ground and it brings up other seeds. I will be making duplicate copies of the show. When I asked the atheists to provide proof and evidence, and they hung up on me. One guy, it was hilarious. One guy, I said, he calls up, and I said, okay, this is how it goes. This is an actual clip from the show. I said, okay, because all these atheists kept ignoring the question, trying to go around it. And I said, here's the question, very simple. And while the question's coming out of my mouth, he goes, well, and he won't even let me get the question out of my mouth. Everyone knows the rules of the show. You answer one question when you come in. Very simple. Yet the answer is impossible because there is no proof or evidence. And you can listen to the show where they got, yes, busted on my radio show. So I asked this atheist, sweet, lovable, kind atheist, at first. He was, and he got mean, hurt my little feeling. I said, what proof are you? He goes, well, I go, no, hold on. Don't play your atheist politician games. You know how they talk like politicians. I said, what proof or evidence do you have? I don't want to hear about Santa Claus or the spaghetti monster or any other type of gibberish. Sometimes listening to the atheist radio show, that song pops into my mind. It was wacky. It was funny. We prove the insanity of atheism, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, back to the story. The guy goes, here he does that politician speak. He goes, okay, I'm not going to talk about Santa Claus. I'm like, yes, go ahead and answer the question. He goes, I'm not going to talk about, the spaghetti monster or the unicorn. I'm like, yeah, what's the question? And then he goes, now, Shock, how many other people? And he starts changing the subject. I go, everyone could hear you. I'm like, well, can everyone hear me? Am I talking to you? I go, please. See, they want to get away from the question, go on this long diatribe, and then by that time you're like, well, what the heck was the question? So I tell the guy, look, you ain't going to wiggle out of the question. It don't work with me. I used to be an atheist. I know the little tricks, the dishonest tricks of atheism. It's like a cult. They sit around and they talk about all the way to do it. Now look, when the creationist says this, here's how you answer. And they're more interested in winning arguments than knowing the truth, ladies and gentlemen. So when I kept the guy's feet to the fire, I said, just answer the question. What proof and evidence do you have that atheism is accurate and incorrect? He goes, you know what? Have a good call, sir. And he hangs up on me. And everyone was like, why did he chicken out? Then we had another atheist call on. He was mouthing off in the chat room, very bold, and I challenged him to come on the show and provide proof and evidence. Now he was stuck, because the audio says, provide proof and evidence, and you hear me challenging him to call in. He was, what's the word I'm looking for as I tap my finger to my formerly Bible-reading mouth? Busted! So what happens is, everyone's like, call in. So he leaves the room, right? I don't know, he leaves the chat room. There's like 140 people that were in the chat room throughout the whole conversation. He comes back. He comes on the show. And I start talking to him. Now, he's in the UK, and I love my UK friends, but what is in the water down there? It's like breeding atheism. I have a friend that's in the UK, Ridge, and he goes, yeah, I'm in the UK, Shock. He goes, I don't know why all the atheists is like, they're all down here. He goes, I'm kind of feeling like alone down there. Hey, brother, I'll be your creationist, Christian believing brother here in the United States. So this guy calls in. He won't answer the question. I say, okay, call back when you're ready to answer the question. He calls back 2 or 3 times. Not once did he have the courage of his convictions. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, go to shockonow.net. Click the radio link, and you will see how the atheists were, yes, busted by the white-hot heat of truth. God bless you guys. Jesus Christ is Lord. And that radio show was triumphant.